And there we are. I was waiting for. I always have to wait till the thing pops up and says, "Okay, here you are." Good evening. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope everybody's enjoying the heat. It's just a wonderful, wonderful time right now with the heat index as high as it is and the humidity as high as it is. Lots and lots of fun there. All right. So, anyway, before we jump into anything here on this live stream, I would like to remind everybody that this is a very family friendly oriented channel. I would ask you all to please be decent in the chat, no racism, no nastiness. Just be kind to one another, and we'll have a nice stream, and we will go from there. But that's a convict stare. I've had Steve tell me, he goes, when you had that conversation with whoever, he goes, did you give him the look? I go, what's the look? He goes, you have this look. He says that you do. He goes, it's really, really intimidating. And I'm not always trying to be intimidating. I mean, and it's not on purpose, but I guess I just have that look that, and if I'm intense, if I'm in the moment, yeah. I've actually been told that now my eyes are brown. Okay. I have had people tell me when I get pissed, when I get really, really angry, my eyes turn black. And I'm like, well, that's interesting. Um, yeah. But anyway, well, I had somebody else tell me, oh, here's another thing. I had somebody tell me, they said, when you're mad, when you're really upset, when you're, worked up, they said the tip of my ears turn red. And she goes, just an observation, just something that I saw. She goes, I thought it was interesting. She goes, but when you're pissed, when you're mad, she goes, your top of your ears turn red because my obviously blood pressure is up when I'm angry. So I thought that that was interesting as well. But anyway, so before we jump in anything, please be decent in the chat. No racism, no nastiness. Let's be kind to one another. Let's have a nice chat, and we will go from there. Quick reminder before we jump into anything, I am doing a sale right now on my website, preparedness1.com, with a legacy freeze dried food. You can save 20% on the freeze dried food right now. That will be ending on the 30th. So you got like 11 days to take advantage of that. So definitely check that out as well. Just so you guys reminder as well, I will be live streaming Friday at 8 p.m. So that will be a normal live stream day. And, I will try to keep on the days that I normally live stream. It may be a little bit later, depending on when I get home. So I hope you weren't told that while you were angry. No, they did not tell me that. They told me that when I was calm. They told me that when I was calm. So, but I thought that that was very funny. But anyway, lots going on in the world, lots of craziness happening. I so obviously let's just go ahead, guys. Well, anyway, so the sale on the website, definitely take advantage of that. Like I said, that will be ending on the 30th. Having freeze dried food is really a great way to store food. You have to just get it, not think about it, put it away. You got a 30-year shelf life. So I just bought 1,000 of freeze dried food on sale. Well, you're over in Europe too, and I know unfortunately in Europe we don't serve Europe and we don't serve Canada. It's only in the continental United States. But that's good that you did that, full of hope. I think that that's a very smart thing. Definitely take advantage of those sales when you see them. So, but it's funny to see Patera get worked up because her neck turns super red. Oh, yeah, it's all about blood pressure. That's what that is, and that definitely, makes things. Your blood pressure's up, so you're gonna turn red somewhere. So, but apparently it's my ear tips that turn red. But I try not to be angry, but I think we all. So, JJ just put the link up there too, guys, if you want to take advantage of the sale. And there is a discount code. It is June underscore sale. So, and if you go to the website, you'll see it right on there too. It will tell you. So if you order something, um, you can go ahead and use that discount. That's going to save you 20% on your order. All right, let's get into the topic. So, talking about the US dollar, okay? And I want you guys to really think about this because this should scare the crap out of everybody. And they're really not talking about it very much. Little bit, you'll hear it here and there, but you're not going to hear a lot of chatter about this. And they should be talking about this nonstop. In October of this year, okay? So my recommendation is have your houses in order by October because in October, BRICS is going to go into effect. So, what does that mean? Okay. Website says page not found. It should be right there. If you go to preparedness1.com, it should pop up. Actually, I'll tell you what, I'll take a look right now. Hold on. Give me 1 second. You can hear me, but you won't see me for a second. It's popping up for me just fine, guys. You prepper nurse one, the number one, not ONE. So I'm gonna close that window and I'll come back to you guys. Yeah, it popped right up for me. So I just clicked JJ's link. Okay, if you click in preppernurse1.com, it will take you right to the website. Oh, guys, hold on 1 second. Hey, baby girl, I just started doing a live stream. Um, no, I had to work, so I had to start it later. No, you're fine. Do you want to call me after you get out of work? Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Okay, I'll tell you what. I will call you when I'm done. Oh, I see how you are. No, that's all right. All right. Um, clear out your voicemails because it says your mailbox is full. No, I don't. It's not all me. All right. Well, I love you, and I'll call you after the live stream. All right. Bye. She goes, I thought the live stream was done. I said, well, no, I didn't start it until later. So, too funny. Obviously, that's Heather. I speak with her pretty much every single day. Doesn't really a day goes by and that I don't talk with her. But all right, so in October, all right. Well, I'm going to take a drink of this real quick. BRICS is going into effect. So, what is BRICS and what effect will that have? What BRICS is they are starting. They're planning on trading oil no longer in the U.S. dollar, which everybody trades oil right now in the U.S. dollar. Okay, and starting in October, BRICS is going to go into effect. That's Russia, China, North Korea, Iran, and a whole or BRICS. BRICS. I'm sorry, BRICS. A whole lot of other countries are getting on board with that, and they will no longer be trading oil in the US dollar. They will be using a different currency. Most likely, they will be using the Chinese dollar, the yuan. Okay. So, what does that mean? Yeah, Dawn's showing you how to do it there, guys. So, what does that mean? What that means is the dollar is going to destabilize because right now France was turned down from joining. Oh, really? I did not know that. Um, it's going to devalue the dollar. And that should be very scary because our dollar is backed by nothing. Nothing. Oil, and our military. Pretty much that's it. There is nothing out there saying that, yes, this is a great thing and you should have the US dollar. If you were, yep, the bond sell off is, yep, huge thing with the bond sell off. You have China has been unloading on bonds for quite a while, and it should be very, very frightening to people because if or if the dollar loses value, it will cause unbelievable inflation. Uh, we're going to be in big, big trouble. So my advice to everybody would be by October, get your ducks in a row, folks. Get the things that you need to get. This is, and again, please, I don't want people to think, oh, this is a scare tactic. This is fear mongering. It is not. Not in any way, shape, or form. We have a very narrow window. We know what's coming. We know what's going to happen now. The only thing that could change that, all right, yeah, and that's why they're pushing for war. JJ, you know, I was literally just going to say the only thing that will change that is if we end up going to war. So do not be surprised, right? We talked about that they reinitiated where they're registering automatically men between the ages of 18 and 26. Right now, they're not going to, for the draft. Right now, they're not doing women at this point. Again, I will tell you right now, if they end up doing women as well, I will tell my daughter, do not report. I'll put it out there. I don't care. Um, I'll hide her. I will do whatever I have to do, but she's not going to go to war to fight for oil or the petrodollar or some foreign country for nothing. That's my opinion, giving you my opinion. So, but and then of course, obviously, we have an election coming up, and who knows how that will play out. I don't think that depending on what the scenario is and how that finishes up. I have to laugh when I'm watching and I am seeing that the polls, right? They're doing all these polls, and the polls say, "Oh, Biden's, now Biden is in the lead." How could that even be possible? How could a rational? Here's a question I have for you, and this is not a Republican or a Democrat question. When you see, and then of course now, and I'm going to bring something else up here in a second. When you see an individual wander off at the G7 summit and has to be redirected, or he's in California at a fundraiser and Obama had to grab him and lead him off the stage, um, that is not somebody, in my opinion, that looks like, right, opinion, that looks like they are working with all their faculties. Now, of course, the news, they asked the press secretary, and she said, "Oh, it's fake news. He didn't wander off. He was doing something else." And but the Democrat or Republicans, did this and that and the other thing, and they're making excuses, is what they're doing. Okay, but the reality is, you have an individual who obviously appears. Let's just be. We'll be politically correct for a second. We'll put it to a statement where they can't say that I'm spreading false information, but it appears that he is in cognitive decline and has been for quite a while. Can't speak properly, seems to have a lot of confusion. Very concerning, very, very concerning. Um, how could anybody in the right mind watch that display and say, "Yeah, I'm voting for that guy"? It doesn't make any kind of sense. Yeah, I can't say that on here, JJ, or I will be dinged. But everybody look at JJ's comment. But again, we have to look at the big picture. We have to look at everything that's going on. I've kind of broken down what I feel may happen if Trump is elected, and wouldn't shock me in any way, shape, or form. Wouldn't shock me if we were in some sort form of a military conflict before then. That would not shock me either. So, my mama has late stage Alzheimer's, and he looks just like she did not long ago. It's kind of scary. It's not it's definitely kind of scary when you look at that blankness, and that's what I call it. When they have that look and there's nothing there, and it's just blankness, that should be concerning. That should be very concerning. Hey, full of hope. Shout out to Barry Cunningham, great YouTube channel. Okay, well, thank you very much for that statement, and thank you very much for the donation as well. It's very much appreciated. But BRICS is coming. If you want it to come or not want it to come, it's coming. All right. I will tell you again. My advice to you guys. Hey, Sean, how you doing, brother? You treating my girl good? You better be. I know you are. So I don't even have to ask that question. I know you are. So you guys are good for each other. Uh, you know, it's coming. Brinks is coming. Yes, no doubt about it. Absolutely going to happen. And people need to be prepared for that. Put yourself in that position. Again, look at where you're at. Am I happy where I'm at? Am I going to be where I want to be? And then you have to make those decisions. What do I need? What do I need to do to improve my situation? And that's where you got to really decide what's important. What can I do? Where am I going to be? How ready am I going to be? I've been doing a lot of small things here at the homestead, little projects, like one of the little projects that I just did today, and you'll see an upcoming video on it. I set up and got the rain catchment set up for the other tank off of the off of the Raven's Nest, the pavilion. Okay, so now the next time it rains, not only will one tank will be filling, two tanks will be filling at the same time, which is good. Now, the more water you're going to have, the better position you're going to be in. I've talked about that. I think it's really important. Making sure you have water, making sure you have ways to purify that water. That water coming off the top of the pavilion, um, there could be birds pooping on there. I got the correct downspout. Yes, I did. I went and picked up the right one, Don. The ones that he had gotten were not going to work. It happens, people. I mean, I knew what I was talking about in my head, and he just picked up the wrong ones, and that's okay. That happens. But, you know, what are the safest cities to be in, John Pratt? None of them. None. No city is safe to be in when SHTF happens. No city will be safe. You have to understand, all right, and I want you guys to think about this for a second. When you have 95% of the population is not prepared for a 2 week disaster. So let's say you live in a city and you're one of the 5% that is prepared, right? You got your stores, you got everything squared away, you're good to go, you're ready. Um, and then SHTF happens. You won't have that stuff long. Roving gangs will be going into apartments. They will be going from apartment to apartment, getting whatever they can get, and nobody's going to really be able to stop them. Now, let's say you're living in an apartment, and let's say somehow you have a way to defend yourself. How many of them do you think you're going to get before they get you? If somebody is that desperate, they're not going to stop. Um, you're not going to stop. Now, the rule of thumb has always been, all right, the rule of thumb has always been 72 hours. You have 72 hours to get to where you want to be before complete and utter chaos breaks out. I honestly do not believe you have 72 hours. I really don't. I believe you realistically, and somebody just put it on here, 36 hours, if you're lucky. If you're lucky. It could be less than 24, it could be less than 12. The sooner you get out of where you are and get to a safe haven, the better off you're going to be. Now, here's some advice I will give you. Okay. If you have decided I'm going to XYZ bug out location, Don't go empty-handed. Don't think just because you're a relative or just because you're a friend that they're automatically going to take you in. You're another mouth to feed. And now, if you have a wife and a couple of kids, let's say you have 3 kids and your wife. Now, that's 5 mouths that need to be fed every single day. And what have you brought to the table, realistically? Unless you're bringing all kinds of skills in something that is worth something, my advice to all of you would be make sure you get as much food as you possibly can, tools, ammo, weapons, get whatever you can get, transport whatever you can get. Then you're making yourself more viable. You're making yourself an asset other than a burden. There will be people that will be turned away because we will not be able to help them. There has to be a cutoff, folks. I'm telling you right now, there has to be a cutoff. So you have to, if you are part of a group, you're planning on going to your bug out location, again, I would highly recommend having food on site. And that's one of the things that we've been talking about as a group is really now that we've got as many buildings in here as we do, people need to start really loading up those buildings with supplies and not just food, ways to purify water, food, clothing, bedding, um, boots, tools, whatever, seeds, all those type of things. Obviously, ammo and, making sure they have a way to defend themselves. The more that you have on site, the less you have to worry about getting there when the time comes. If it's already there, you just need to worry about you getting there. And yes, whatever supplies for trade also. Absolutely, Nikki's Nook. That's a really good thing. If you have extra stuff to use as bargaining tools, absolutely you should have those as well. When that time comes, again, and I'm going to rate this, I've said it a million times, you're going to have what you have. There's no more running to the store, no more last minute trips out there and going, I'm going to get this, I'm going to get that, I'm going to get the other thing. Those days are going to be over. There is no opportunity realistically. You might get lucky, okay, but I want you to think about this. If you and everyone else is at the store at the same time, how quickly could things turn violent when you have something like you got your cart and you got all this stuff in your cart, right? And you want to try to get out of the store. Most likely, people are not going to be paying for anything at that point. And here comes Joe Blow and his buddies, and they're armed to the teeth. And they decide, I like what you have in your cart. I'm going to take that cart. That could turn violent very, very quickly. And there's no law enforcement going to be there to stop anybody. Nobody's going to step up and be the good guy. Yeah, Black Friday on steroids. Absolutely, Watcher. Black Friday times 100. There's no more rules. I want you to, what I want you guys to really think about how people act right now in our society on a daily basis with rules, with rule of law. All right, think about that. Now, I want you to think about what it will be like when there is no rule of law. Nobody's coming to get arrested. Nobody's going to stop anybody from doing whatever they want to do. They're going to do whatever they want to do. That's why I've always been a very big proponent of being ready, getting as much supplies as I possibly can here on the home site. And when that time comes, I'm not leaving. I'm not going out there. I don't want to be part of that chaos and madness and anarchy. All right. And hopefully my people will get here and we will be able to do what we need to do to make sure that we are safe, that we're okay, that nobody's coming in here acting stupid. And if they do come in here acting stupid, they get exactly what they deserve. And trust me, they will get what they deserve if they come in here acting stupid. So it's it's just being as prepared as you can be, doing what you got to do, thinking ahead, planning ahead. Planning ahead is the key. That's what it's all about: is making the plans, putting them in action, getting them working, and when the time comes, doing. I got something there. Is that just like okay? Doing what you have to do. That's what it's all about. It really. So what do you got? 201 in the chat, guys. We got 84 thumbs up. If you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to please do so to show support for the channel. And thank you ahead of time. It really, really does make a difference with the algorithms. So I would, appreciate you guys doing that as well for that reason. Also, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. YouTube keeps chopping the numbers. They're unsubscribing people all the time. So definitely check to see if you're subscribed to the channel, and if you're not, make sure you do. If you think you're subscribed, just check your notifications and all that stuff as well, because there's a lot of games being played. I'm down right now coming into this live stream. I'm at 107,001. Now, I peaked out 2 years ago at 107,351 was when my peak number. Okay. And I had a period where they were not removing content, old content. That's what they do. They like to remove old content. And no, we're not giving you a strike. We're just removing this as medical misinformation or whatever BS that they're feeding us, right? That they're saying that this is misinformation. But what that does is it jams up your channel. So I had come back all the way up. I went all the way down. I was at 106,800 and something, and I came all the way back up, and I was at 107,200 and like 40 something, and then they started chopping them off again. So as of right now, coming into this live stream, yeah, it's free to subscribe and give a thumbs up. Yeah, it doesn't cost you anything to be, part of the channel. But I was at 107,001. So I'll have to look and see after the live stream of where we're at. But AI is now keeping track of live chats and summarizing what you talk about. Oh, it doesn't surprise me. None of that surprises me. Like I said, what do? I encourage people to be proactive. I encourage people to be self-reliant. Okay, listen, I love you, but stop. I encourage you to, help yourselves. I encourage you not to be victims. I'm not out here doing scare tactics, guys. What time is egg count with the new random schedule? We'll do the egg count on the top of the hour at 10 o'clock. It's 45 minutes in, okay? It's 45 minutes in. So we'll do that, and I'm probably just going to go to about 10:15, guys, just so you know. But we're just going to do the hour, all right? I'm thinking your pup loves you. Yeah, she's a good girl. She is a good girl. She is a German Shepherd, yes. Yep. She's not really white. She's more tan. Yeah, she's more tan. But anyway, it's there's always going to be games being played with YouTube, and I realize that. I'm just going to do what I'm going to do. If they restrict me, which they have been for the last couple of years, I was growing like crazy. Realistically, where should I be at by this point in time? I don't know. I should probably be 250, 300,000 subscribers realistically. But because of the shadow banning, not putting my content out there, I'm not. And, it is what it is. I'm not going to get mad and play, and pout or cry about it. There's nothing I can do about it. So I'll just continue to make videos. And if people like it, great. If they don't like it, then don't. But like I said, I'm not about fear on this channel. I try to be, easily 300K. Yeah, I wouldn't. That would be nice, wouldn't it? And making the kind of money that you could make at 300K. Think about what I could be doing and getting done if they were not screwing with me. We'd be a whole lot farther ahead. I can tell you that right now, because all my money, like when I was in New York, my money from the channel went right back into the property. Those raised beds that I had in New York. I'm going to give you an example. The raised beds that I built in New York. There was 9 raised beds in New York. Does anybody have? I'm gonna have you. We're gonna do this for fun. What do you think that cost me to make those 9 raised beds in New York State? So what do you think that cost me? And I'll tell you what it cost because I don't care. It don't make any difference to me. I'll tell you what it cost me. 90 concrete blocks per bed, rebar in every other holes, two rebar in each corner, and then quickcrete on top of it. So we got a guess at 2K, 500 each, which would be what, 4,500. JJ saying 4 5K. Give you guys, anybody else wants to guess real quick, you can go ahead and guess, and then I'll tell you what it cost me. All right, so the first one with the right guess was Gabriel D. 6K. $6,000 went into those raised beds, folks. And that was what, 4 or 5 years ago now. So what do you think that they would cost now? Okay. Do I want raised beds down here? Yes, I do. I do want raised beds down here, and I will put raised beds down here. I don't have that kind of money to put into that right now. We have other things that we really need to utilize that, using for other things at the moment. But we will eventually do greenhouses and raised beds and all those type of things as well. But yeah, none of it's cheap. So I mean, all my money like that I made when I was up in New York went right back into the property. Gravel, I mean, my goodness, I hate to think what I paid in gravel up in New York. I mean, you down here, just in the road, folks, just in the road. So far, we've put $15,000 into the road itself. That's it, just into the road. Putting the new culvert in, and the stone, and having the bobcat guy come and do his work, having the excavator guy come in and do his work. It is not cheap. Everything costs, and it is a work in progress. Now, the road is 1,000 times better than when I first got here, but we still need more work on that road. We could probably, I think right now, a guess, and strictly a guess, 3 more loads of gravel, number 2 stone, placed in different places on the road, would probably have us in really good shape. So it might be cheaper to buy a used mini excavator. Not really. Not really. I love it when people say, um, on the other hand, people in the group put money into it too, aren't they? Yes. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely they have, you know. But it's just it is a process. All of it's a process. Everything that we're trying to do is a process. You should take a drive on the road again, or I'll walk it, Heavenly B, or Heavy B. I could walk it again and just kind of show you where we're at, what we've done, and that type of stuff. And what there's more. Like I said, there's more work to do. But 3 more loads of stone would probably have us in really good shape. We'd probably need a 4th load loaded up like we did last year, just to fill in potholes when they come, because they come. It happens. But we're definitely in much, much better shape with the road, and it benefits everyone. Yeah, it daunts us as they should, since it benefits everyone, and it does. It absolutely benefits everyone, and it's been a lot of work, a lot of sweat, blood, and tears. I bled for that road. So, um, you know, but I am in West Virginia. I am in West Virginia. So, but it's we, like I said, with getting the buildings in, getting the pavilion made, working on the pavilion, uh, buttoning things up with that. So, Oh, I know what I was going to say. So everybody talks about, oh, you should get a tractor. Well, that'd be great. I'd love to have a tractor, especially one that I could use to cut the grass. That would be awesome. But they don't give them away for free. Last I checked, they don't. So, but oh yeah, we're definitely been in the heat full of hope last couple of days. It's been extremely warm down here. Right now, 81 degrees here in the camper. So it's definitely warm. It has been. I think over the weekend we're supposed to be hitting 90 a couple days. The humidity is really high, really high. The rest of Palmer says we use recycled asphalt. Yeah, that's another option. Absolutely, that's another option. So, but yeah, like I said, it's all of it. It takes time. How much would it cost to join your mag, Ed? If you're really interested, shoot me an email, give me your phone number, and I will give you a call, and I can let you know what it entails, what we do. So, preppernurse1.com is the email, and if you were interested in being part of what we're doing down here, give me your name, give me your phone number, and I will call you, and we will go from there. So. If you have Amish in the area, they also love to barter, or maybe let them do some logging in exchange for some raised beds, etc. Yeah, we don't have Amish down here. There's no Amish down here. In New York, there was Amish everywhere in New York. So, Village Home says 82 right now, lows of 75 tonight, highs this week in the mid 90s with a heat index of 105. Yeah, that's hot. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be that bad here. Um, I know the humidity is high. Like I said, I know that like Friday, Saturday, they're talking about being 90 degrees. So yeah, it's going to definitely be warm. So, but but anyhow, like I said, a lot of things to pay attention to. A lot of things are being done. A lot of pieces are being put into place, and we just need to pay attention to all those things. And when the time comes, and again, folks, I don't believe it's a matter of if. I do believe it's a matter of when. And when it happens, every single one of us is going to be going, "Oh crap, I didn't see that coming," um, or the severity or the quickness. I honestly believe when SHTF hits the fan, and this is strictly again my opinion only. I think like today will be just like a net regular day, and the next day we'll wake up into complete and utter chaos. I think it'll happen that quickly, and there's your window of opportunity. What are you doing? What are you doing at that point? You know, and it's going to hit the fan. There is no if. Yeah, I don't believe there's an if either. So, but again, plan ahead, be ready, cross your I's, dot your T's, or cross your T's and dot your I's. Said that wrong. What was that? Gene Wilder. Wait, stop, reverse. Okay. Love Gene Wilder too, by the way. But yeah, again, you have to take care of what you can take care of, control what you can control. What's your take on Putin visiting Kim in North Korea? You know, that's all, again, politics and games. Letting North Korea, like, see, again, and I'm going to say this, there's two states that we haven't got to worry about, folks, all right, that they want to try to pretend that they're the boogeyman. One is North Korea, and the other one is Iran. North Korea and Iran are not going to attack the United States of America. They're not going to do it, okay? Because they know if they did, we would turn them into a parking lot. Period. End of story. If we went nuclear on either one of those countries, they're toast, and they know that. So they can grandstand and they can beat their chest and wave their flags and say all the words that they want to say, but they're not doing squat. If anybody is going to have a problem where we have to be worried about, and I don't think, and I'll say it again, Russia is not our enemy. Okay, Russia is not our enemy. They want to give you all these scare tactics that Russia's going to do this and Russia's going to do that and Russia's going to do the other thing. Okay? Russia is not the enemy. China is the enemy. I'm telling you, folks, it's only a matter of time. I don't know if you saw recently, in China, he was saying that we're not going to let the U.S. goad us into attacking Taiwan. Well, they've been beating their chest saying, well, if you do this, we're going to do this. And they're all grandstanding. They're not ready. China's not ready. I'm telling you right now, they're not ready. They're working towards being ready. Okay. Yeah, China's behind BRICS too. Absolutely. It's all a game. It's all a game. So it's just, you can't just listen to the mainstream news media. I'm telling you right now. Do I have all the answers? I do not. Never going to say that I do, but you know, I know who the true enemy is. I've been saying it for 30 years, folks. We ain't got to worry about Russia. We need to worry about China. Why do you think Russia's doing a lot of the things they're doing? Could it be because of the UN and the UN continuously infringing on their areas and doing things that they said they would not do? It's a question. That's all that is. That is a question. So, again, you know, whatever's coming, it ain't going to be good at all for anybody. So, you better put yourself in a position where I want you to think about this. I'm going to, put yourself in a position where you're going to be okay. During World War II, there was a lot of rationing, right? Because a lot of the supplies were going over for the men who were fighting for our country, which is as it should be. But it was very difficult to get things here in the U.S. Now, I'm sure the black market um, was just fine, and there was things if you had the money that you could get what you needed to get. Or NATO, yes, I'm sorry. Yes, I meant NATO, Okie Forge. What did I say? The UN. I said the UN. I meant NATO. Yeah, NATO is, yeah, that's what I meant. Thank you. So, well, isn't NATO and the UN the same thing? I think. Am I wrong? No, they're not the same. All right. Well, yeah. NATO has. Last time I checked, Russia went into Ukraine, and that's after they invaded Crimea. You're right, but okay. So, Big Dog, why? Let's think about this. Why did Russia go into Ukraine? Right? Wasn't Ukraine supposed to remain neutral? And what kept happening? What kept happening? I mean, do the research. That's all. That's all I'm asking you, folks. Do the research. I'm not rah rah Russia. I think I'm rah rah Russia. I'm rah rah the US of A. Okay, but if you look at why things happened, so NATO was formed to guard against Russian aggression. Okay, didn't the USSR break up, and a lot of those countries went their own way, and we had promised that there would be no NATO intervention in places like Ukraine, so that Russia had a border, basically a buffer. And what's happened? You tell me. So, and I want you to also remember, folks, right after that invasion happened, right? Right after that invasion happened, they wanted to settle, right? Remember, and they had a deal struck. Who remembers that? There was a deal struck between the Ukraine and Russia. And there was a prime minister in the UK who went over and visited with Zelensky, and that deal was struck down. Remember that? And who also wanted that deal struck down? Hmm. Well, it could have possibly be the United States. Possibly, right? So that's why 2 years later they're still at war. But is it Americans dying, or is it Ukrainians and Russian kids dying? They're the same thing. realistically, right? Craziness, absolute insanity and craziness. And if I'm wrong, please enlighten me of my ignorance, right? Why are we supplying so many supplies, weaponry, ammo, and stuff like that to Ukraine? Is it possibly because they want Russia weakened? You have to pay attention to everything, folks. You got to pay attention, not just what the media is telling you, right? Because if you listen to the media, Russia bad. They're the bad guys. They're the aggressor. Not NATO. NATO is not the aggressor. Oh, no, 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 right? But look at it. Look what it was. Look what was going on. That's all. So, yeah, Ukraine had nuclear weapons one point, and they gave them up because they were told that they would be safe. And I was reading an article with pictures of camps the U.S. is building. They expect for people to revolt and throw them into these camps in the middle of nowhere. I hadn't seen that, Dawn. Would it surprise me if people revolted? It wouldn't. Wouldn't surprise me at all. Who knows what may happen? So, yeah, Village Homestead, we have to have a boogeyman. Who remembers when the boogeyman was Al Qaeda, right? Ooh, Al Qaeda, they're the big scary boogeyman. Were they really? Were they really? So there's always got to be somebody that they because if you don't have a boogeyman, why do we need to spend so much money on the military, right? If we don't have this, well, we got to be afraid of this because this could happen. Like I said, again, do I believe that we will have attacks within the United States? Absolutely, I do believe so. The borders have been wide open for the last 4 years, and who knows who came in here? The gotaways. So you send a bunch of South American folks in one area, and while the border patrol's busy with them, you just slip in the guys that you want to slip in with whatever gear that you need to have and have. Wouldn't be surprising, or would it? Would that be surprising to you if that something like that happened? Oh, we're gonna have to do egg count, guys. I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself here. So let's do this again. 7 hens. We have um, how many eggs altogether? So 4 brown eggs would be the max of brown eggs, 1 white, 1 Easter egger, and then 1 cream-colored egg. So I will give you a moment. Give me your guesses of all three, and we will go from there. So I'll give you guys a moment to get your guesses in, and we will do that. Lots going on, lots to pay attention to. I'm telling you. Again, BRICS will be going into effect in October. When that happens, it will devalue the dollar. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Okay, no ifs, ands, or buts about that. You better be ready. Okay. All right, I'm going to do this real quick. We looks like we have back-to-back winners here. Janet Humphrey, once again, she said 3 eggs, yes for Betty White, and no for the other 2 hens, and she is 100% correct. Only 3 eggs today, and the white hen laid, Betty White, and 2 brown eggs, so 3 eggs total, and that was it. The other hens are not laying. The newer hens that just came in are not laying now. They're not being accepted into the group. They're roosting separately from everybody else. Um, hold on, guys. Mom, I'll have to call you back. I'm live streaming. All right, I love you. Bye. All right, so um, they're not being accepted in with the group, so they're roosting separately, and that's not good. Because when winter gets here, they're going to need to be in with the rest of the group. So I don't know what we're going to do there. I might have to ask Paula Barbara to come back and grab them. I don't know yet. I'm gonna have to see what's happening on that particular end. And but yeah, they're just I got some bullies in my group. So so congratulations to Janet. She's won absolutely nothing, but she is happy. So that's a good thing. Once again, real quick, I do want to mention good way to prepare is the legacy freeze dried foods. With my website, I am doing that sale right now. So preparedness1.com. You go there. The discount code will be right there. It will show you what it is. It is sale underscore 2024, I believe, is the discount. And definitely take advantage of that. You can save 20%. Freeze dried food, stock it away. You don't have to think about it. All you got to do is have it there. 30-year shelf life. So it is definitely good peace of mind. Absolutely. So definitely take advantage of this sale if you're interested. So just putting that out there one more time. So once again, preppernurse1.com. Go to my website. You can save 20% on the freeze dried food, and not a bad thing to have. All right. So anyway, again, folks, like I said, I'm always going to encourage you. You can do whatever you want to do. You can do whatever you want to do. I'm not going to tell you what you have to do. It's your choice. But the more prepared you are, the better off you're going to be in the long run. It's going to put you in a better position to be ready for when the time comes. That is important. That is really important. So, but yeah, I know. With Heather calls me, Mom calls me. I talk to my family quite a bit, quite a bit. Do I wish they were here? Yes, I wish they were here. They have chosen to stay in New York. Basic logic. I just went onto my website and it was working just fine. So it's there. It's a prepper, nurse, and then the number one. Not ONE, the number one. So definitely check that out. And JJ's got it right there. JJ's got the link. If you click on that link, it will take you right to my website. So I got my last eye operation. I can see again after being blind for 5 years, waiting for swelling to go down, and then I'm heading back to Kentucky. Congratulations, Terry. That's awesome. Yeah, that would be another thing I would encourage you guys to do right now as well. Okay. Any elective surgeries that you need to get taken care of, get them done now. Any dental work that you need to get done, get them done now. Because there is not going to be a chance to get those things taken care of. Event. Uh, Preparedness one, what are you preparing for? I love that question. I am preparing for whatever may happen. I have no one thing that I am preparing for. I prepare for the worst and I hope for the best. So I hope that answers your question. Many different things could happen. And so, uh, you know, be as ready as you can be because we never know what it's going to be. It may be something that none of us see coming at all. Something out of left field that happens that we go, holy crap, I didn't see that coming. But it's coming. I definitely uh, feel that is, in my gut. I've been saying that for a while. I've been encouraging you guys to buy food for a very long time. Also encouraging you to prepare water wise. Water is life. Having ways to make sure. How about the independence from the system? That takes preparation. Absolutely, Don. Is being as independent as you possibly can be, I think, is a wonderful thing. A wonderful thing. I wonder if YouTube is blocking it from here. Well, basic logic, after the stream is over with, just type that in then. And they could be. That absolutely they could be. Just type it in after the stream and try to check it out that way. Yeah, you never know with YouTube what they're doing. But yeah, it could just be a bad snowstorm that knocks out the grid. If you looked at a situation, it's the middle of winter, and a huge storm came through and knocked everything out for a couple of weeks, what happens then, right? If you can't get out of your home, you're stuck in your house. Uh, it is just, being prepared is not about always the end of the world as we know it. It is about those little disasters that will continue to happen. Um, yep, the code is June_sale. Okay, yep. All right. I believe so, yes. It should say it right on the website as well. Tony says, Ed, I prepared to keep from being hungry, thirsty, homeless, safe, and sleep in a soft, warm bed. Absolutely. Having the creature comforts, are very, very important. And the more normal that you can keep things after an event, the better off you're going to be. That's important as well. Being able to take a hot shower, being able to stay warm, being able to change your clothes, being able to, do those things that we take for granted, but what does that take? You better have soap, right? You better be able to wash your clothes, so you got to have laundry soap as well. Also, you better be able to brush your teeth, and all those different things that we take for granted that they're, it's just always going to be there because it's always been there. Well, SHTF happens, no more soap, no more nothing. You're not getting anything. So you're going to have what you have. Now, will you have to come up with alternative methods down the road? Absolutely, yes. But the idea, the game plan, if you will, is to make that transition as least stressful as possible. So, and if SHTF, you couldn't shave your head anymore. Oh, I got enough razors, JJ. I'll be shaving my head for a long time. Now, eventually, I probably wouldn't be able to. So, the link worked for me. I right clicked the link and clicked open in a new tab. Oh, there you go, Okie Forge. Okay. So, like I said, guys, just be ready, plan ahead, be smart, think of your families, think of your children if you have children. Even if they're grown, they're still going to need somebody to be leading the way. And, they may call us crazy and everything that they do now, and that's perfectly fine. But the more prepared we are, the better off we're going to be in the long run. And that's what I'm always going to encourage you to do. And if you can't do a whole lot at one time, slow and steady wins the race. If you're working at it and you're doing something about it, and then SHTF happens, and maybe you're not where you want to be, but you're better off than most, and it's as simple as that. If you went out tomorrow, I mean, realistically, how much would it cost you to get a gallon of water per person in your household for 2 weeks? Not that expensive, not that expensive at all. So, something to think about, something to plan for. If you drink bottled water, okay, so let's say you go through a case of bottled water a week. So you buy 2 cases. You drink one, then the next week you buy two more. You drink one, now you got two as a backup, right? Next week you drink one, you buy two more. So now you have three as a backup, and you're using the one, always using the oldest products first and then using the newest ones last. It's really simple when you put it in that perspective. You're going to the grocery store. You love green beans, right? You always eat green beans. So instead of buying one can of green beans, you buy two. You eat the one that you normally eat. The next week you go, you buy two more. You eat the one that you normally eat. Now you got 2 cans as a backup. It's simple. It's not hard. Now I'll tell you what I do. I buy things by the case. I'll buy 12 at a time. I'll get them there. I'll load them up, and as I use them, I replace them. It's not difficult. It really, really is not difficult. So anyway, guys, it is the top. Well, it's quarter after. I was going to only do this to quarter after. So I am going to jump off of here. Again, I'm always going to encourage you to prep, get ready, be as ready as you can be. When the time comes, you're going to be thankful that you did something as opposed to doing nothing. Think of your family. You can do whatever you want, okay? But don't think that somebody that you may know is just going to help you because they know you. They're not. They're going to think of themselves and their families first. So that's something to think about, okay? Be safe, everybody. Keep prepping. I will catch you on the next one. I will be live streaming Friday at 8 o'clock, normal time, okay? Have a great night, and we'll talk to you all later. Prep Nurse 1 out for now.